Ji-Soo Kim sat in the back corner of the classroom. She always chose this spot. From here, she could see everyone, but few people noticed her. The Galactic Academy was the most famous school in the known universe. Only the smartest students from each planet got to study here. Humans were not common at the academy. Most races thought humans were weak and simple. Ji-Soo liked it that way. Today, Professor Tark was teaching about the history of space travel. His 6 arms moved quickly as he drew star maps on the big screen. Most students watched with wide eyes. The blue-skinned Arcturians took rapid notes with their 3 hands. The tall, thin Centaurians clicked their tongues in interest. Ji-Soo just watched. She never took notes, yet she had perfect grades. The human invention of the jump drive was lucky, said Professor Tark. Their primitive minds stumbled upon it while looking for something else. A few alien students laughed. Ji-Soo's face showed nothing. Her dark eyes remained calm, her small hands folded neatly on her desk. Miss Kim, Professor Tark suddenly called. As our only human student, perhaps you'd like to defend your species. Every head turned toward her. Ji-Soo rarely spoke in class. The discovery wasn't luck, she said in a soft, clear voice. It was the result of seeing connections others missed. The room fell silent. Even Professor Tark seemed surprised by her answer. Well said, he finally replied, and quickly moved on with the lesson. When class ended, Ji-Soo packed her tablet and stood to leave. Her movements were smooth and efficient, no wasted motion. That was brave, said a voice beside her. Ji-Soo turned to see a boy with friendly eyes and a warm smile. He was human too, which was rare enough to notice. I'm Han-Da. Just transferred here this week, he said, holding out his hand. Ji-Soo looked at his hand for a moment before shaking it briefly. Ji-Soo Kim. I know, Han said. Everyone talks about the quiet human girl with perfect scores. Ji-Soo's eyes narrowed slightly. Do they? Well, not everyone. But I was curious about you. Han walked alongside her down the wide hallway. Alien students of all shapes and sizes moved around them. Not many humans make it here. We should stick together. I prefer to be alone, Ji-Soo said politely. Han's smile didn't fade. Everyone needs friends, even mysterious geniuses. For just a second, something flickered in Ji-Soo's eyes, something cold and alert. Then it was gone. I have to study, she said. Han raised his hands in surrender. Fine, fine. But if you change your mind, I'm in dorm block C. Ji-Soo nodded and walked away. As she moved through the crowded hall, aliens twice her size stepped aside without realizing why. Something about her made them uneasy. In her small room, Ji-Soo placed her hand on the door panel. It scanned her fingerprints and palm heat pattern. The door locked with 3 separate clicks. She sat on her bed and pulled out her tablet. But instead of studying, she pressed her thumb to a hidden corner of the screen. The display changed to show security feeds from around the academy. Ji-Soo watched the cameras carefully, especially the ones showing the new student, Han-Da. She zoomed in on his face as he chatted with a group of alien students. Her tablet beeped softly. A message appeared. Asterisk status report required asterisk. Ji-Soo typed quickly. Asterisk cover maintained. Possible complication. New human transfer student showing interest asterisk. The reply came seconds later. Asterisk monitor closely. Mission parameters unchanged. Security breach at Outpost 7. Void collective movement detected asterisk. Ji-Soo's face remained calm, but her fingers tightened on the tablet. Asterisk understood asterisk, she replied. She closed the secret program and opened her homework files. To anyone watching, she was just a quiet, studious girl. Nobody would guess that behind her silent exterior was the most deadly human operative ever trained. And nobody would guess what was coming. Everyone please stay with your group, Professor Tark called out. His 6 arms waved for attention as students filed onto the shuttle. The field trip to the orbital research station was a big event. Students from all over the galaxy pushed forward. excited to see the famous gravity experiments. Jisoo stood apart from the crowd. She scanned everything. The shuttle entrance, the academy staff, the other students. Her eyes missed nothing. Excited for the trip, Han-dae appeared beside her. Jisoo didn't jump. She had heard his footsteps. "It should be educational," she said flatly. "Just educational. This station creates mini black holes for study. That's more than educational. It's amazing." Han's eyes were bright with real excitement. For a moment, Jisoo almost smiled. Then she caught herself. Yes, amazing. The ride to the station took 30 minutes. Jisoo sat alone until Han dropped into the seat beside her. "Mind if I join you? The Arcturians smell like old cheese today." This time, Jisoo did smile slightly. "I noticed." Han looked surprised at her response, then pleased. "So you do have facial muscles. I was beginning to wonder." The shuttle docked with a soft thump. Students lined up to exit. Jisoo stood near the back, watching. Something felt wrong. The station guards seemed tense. One kept touching his earpiece. "Welcome, students." A tall woman in a white lab coat greeted them at the airlock. "I'm Dr. Park. Today you'll see how we bend space itself." The tour began with the control center. Jisoo noticed small things others missed. A screen quickly turned off when they entered. Guards checking their weapons, staff speaking in whispers. As they moved toward the main lab, alarms suddenly blared. "Attention! Security breach in sectors 5 and 7. The station's computer voice was calm, but the message was not. Panic hit immediately. Students screamed and pushed. The aliens with natural armor formed protective circles. The ones with wings flew up to the ceiling. Professor Tark shouted for order, but nobody listened. Then the first shots rang out. "Pirates!" yelled a guard, firing back at shadowy figures moving down the corridor. Jisoo stood perfectly still while chaos erupted around her. Her eyes changed, becoming focused and cold. "We need to hide." Han grabbed her arm. Jisoo looked at his hand on her arm, then at his face. "Get the others to the shuttle bay," she said quietly. "Use emergency route B." Han blinked in confusion. "How do you know about emergency?" But Jisoo was already gone, slipping away through the panicked crowd like smoke. 3 pirates moved through Sector 5. They wore black armor and carried illegal plasma cutters that could slice through metal or flesh with equal ease. "Find the human girl," the leader hissed into his comm. "The quiet one. She's the target." He turned a corner and stopped. A small human figure stood in the corridor ahead. "There you." He never finished his sentence. Jisoo moved faster than seemed possible. One moment she stood 10 feet away. The next she was past him, a thin wire going back into her sleeve. The pirate's head dropped to the floor with a wet thud. The other 2 pirates fired wildly, but Jisoo was already gone. In Sector 6, a pirate checked rooms one by one. He entered a storage closet and found only darkness. Then the darkness moved. His neck broke with a sharp crack. Jisoo lowered the body silently to the floor. The 3rd pirate backed down the corridor, firing in all directions. Fear made his shots wild. "She's just a human girl," he whispered to himself. "Just a weak human." Jisoo dropped from the ceiling panel above him. Her hands moved too fast to see. The pirate gasped once, then collapsed. Station security arrived minutes later to find 3 dead pirates. The security cameras in all 3 areas had mysteriously failed. When students gathered at the shuttle bay, Han counted heads. Someone was missing. "Has anyone seen Jisoo?" he asked urgently. "I'm here." Jisoo appeared beside him, looking exactly as she had before. Not a hair out of place. "Are you okay? Where were you?" Han's voice shook with leftover fear. Jisoo met his eyes. Something passed between them, a moment of silent communication. "I got lost," she said simply. Han stared at her clean hands and calm face. He opened his mouth to speak, then closed it again. On the shuttle ride back, no one noticed how carefully Jisoo watched the stars. No one except Han. And no one heard the message that came to her tablet. Asterisk first wave eliminated. They know you're there. Prepare for more asterisk. The day after the pirate attack, the Galactic Academy was crawling with security officers. Students whispered in corners about the 3 dead pirates found on the station. No one knew who had killed them. No one except Han. He watched Jisoo from across the dining hall. She ate alone, her movements precise and efficient. Nothing about her suggested she could snap a neck with her bare hands. But Han had seen her emerge from that corridor. He had seen her eyes. All students who went on yesterday's field trip must report for questioning, announced the school system. Please proceed to the East Wing. Officer Lee Min sat in a small office. He was human, which was rare in galactic security. His dark uniform had silver stars on the shoulders. His eyes were tired but sharp. Name? He asked as Jisoo entered and sat down. Jisoo Kim. Officer Lee checked his tablet. You're the top student in your class. Jisoo said nothing. Can you tell me what happened during the attack? Officer Lee watched her carefully. We were touring the control center. The alarms went off. Everyone panicked. Jisoo's voice was flat, her face calm. Professor Tark told us to return to the shuttle bay. I got separated in the confusion, but found my way back. Did you see any pirates? No. Officer Lee frowned slightly. 3 pirates were killed during the attack. Security cameras failed at exactly those locations. Interesting coincidence. Jisoo blinked once. Space stations often have technical problems. May I see your hands? Officer Lee asked suddenly. Jisoo placed her hands on the table. They were small and looked delicate. Officer Lee turned them over. Her palms had hard calluses, not the kind that came from writing or studying. These don't look like a student's hands, he said. I practice rock climbing. Jisoo replied without hesitation. It's good exercise. Officer Lee made a note on his tablet. You can go. For now. As Jisoo left the office, Han was waiting to be interviewed. Their eyes met briefly. Jisoo gave a small nod and walked away. Later that day, Han sat in his room with his computer. He had been searching for information about Jisoo Kim for hours. This doesn't make sense, he muttered. According to official records, Jisoo had transferred to the academy from a small human colony called New Seoul 3 years ago. She had perfect grades and no disciplinary issues. But when Han dug deeper, he found problems. Photos of her class at New Seoul showed no one matching Jisoo's description. Records from her supposed previous school were incomplete. Most interesting was what happened to New Seoul itself. 3 years ago, the colony had suffered what officials called a containment breach. All reports were classified after that. Han's computer beeped with a new search result. It was a news clip from 3 years ago. The only survivor of the New Seoul incident arrived on Earth today. The young girl, whose name is being withheld, was found hiding in an air duct after the attack. Authorities refused to comment on rumors that the attackers were not pirates but an unknown species. The clip ended abruptly. Han stared at the frozen image. The young girl was being escorted by military officers, her face blurred. But her posture, the way she walked. It's her, Han whispered. His door chimed. Han quickly closed all his searches. Come in, he called. The door slid open. Jisoo stood there. We need to talk, she said. Han swallowed hard. About what? About what you think you saw on the station. Jisoo stepped inside and closed the door. And about what you've been searching for the past 3 hours. Han's eyes widened. How did you? I monitor all searches about me, Jisoo said simply. It's necessary. Who are you? Han asked. Really? Jisoo was silent for a long moment. Someone who ensures threats are eliminated before they become problems. You killed those pirates. It wasn't a question. Yes. Why? Jisoo's dark eyes seemed to look through him. Because they weren't really pirates, and they didn't come for the station. They came for you, Han realized. Jisoo nodded once. And now others will come. Worse ones. Han took a deep breath. I want to help. You can't. Jisoo turned to leave. Forget what you saw. Forget what you know. Is that a threat? Han asked quietly. Jisoo paused at the door. No, she said. It's the only way you'll stay alive. The old observatory sat at the highest point of the academy grounds. No one used it anymore. The newer, bigger telescope on the moon made this one outdated. That's why Jisoo chose it for the meeting. She moved through the darkness without making a sound. Her body stayed low, avoiding the security sensors. She had memorized their patterns long ago. Inside the observatory, dust covered everything. Moonlight came through the open dome above, casting silver light on the floor. You're late, said a voice from the shadows. Jisoo didn't flinch. I was followed. I had to take a longer route. Director Kang stepped into the moonlight. He was a tall man with short gray hair and a face full of old scars. His black uniform had no markings or rank. The boy, he asked. Jisoo nodded. Handa. He's been searching for information about me. Dangerous. Should we remove him? No, Jisoo said quickly. Too quickly. Director Kang raised an eyebrow. Explain. Removing him would attract attention. Officer Lee is already asking questions about the pirate attack. Those weren't pirates, Director Kang said. And you know it. Jisoo's face remained calm. Void Collective Scouts. Yes, the first wave. Director Kang took out a small device and pressed a button. A blue field surrounded them, blocking all listening devices. They're hunting you specifically, Jisoo. How? My cover is perfect. Not perfect enough. Director Kang showed her a tablet with images from the station attack. You were seen. Not by cameras. By something else. The images showed a strange shadow following Jisoo through the station. It wasn't cast by light. It moved on its own. Avoid observer, Jisoo whispered. Yes. They know what you are now. They know a silence operative is at the academy. Jisoo's shoulders stiffened slightly. It was the closest thing to fear she ever showed. Program Silence was created for one purpose. Director Kang said, to fight the Void Collective. After they nearly wiped out humanity in the First Contact War, we needed weapons they couldn't detect. I know my purpose, Jisoo said. I was made for it. Director Kang nodded. You're the last of the program. The best we ever created. The others? Dead. All of them. The training facility on Mars was attacked last week. No survivors. Jisoo closed her eyes briefly. My orders. Maintain your cover for now. But prepare for direct confrontation. The Void don't send scouts unless they plan a full attack. Jisoo looked up at the stars through the open dome. They're coming here. To the academy. Yes. We believe they'll try to disguise themselves as diplomatic visitors. The academy hosts many official functions. Why here? Why now? Director Kang's face grew more serious. Because of you, Jisoo. You're the only human who can sense them. The only one who can kill them in their true form. You're the biggest threat to their entire species. I understand. Jisoo's voice was steady. Should I evacuate? No, that would leave hundreds of students defenseless. Your primary mission remains the same. Protect humanity's future. These students represent the best minds of our species. Jisoo nodded once. And Handa. He knows too much already. Director Kang studied her face. Handle it as you see fit. But remember your training. No attachments. No distractions. Yes, Director. One more thing. Director Kang handed her a small silver disc. Emergency protocol. If the Void attack in force, activate this. It will call in our fleet, but use it only as a last resort. We can't reveal our military strength unless absolutely necessary. Jisoo took the disc and slipped it into her pocket. You were created for this moment, Jisoo, Director Kang said. Everything we did to make you what you are, it was for this. I won't fail, Jisoo said. Director Kang's face softened slightly. I know, your parents would be proud. For the first time, real emotion flashed across Jisoo's face. Pain, loss, determination. The void took them from me, she said quietly. I won't let them take anyone else. As she left the observatory, Jisoo knew things were about to change. Her cover as the quiet girl in class was wearing thin. Soon, everyone would know what she really was, and the Void Collective would learn why humans were the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Han couldn't sleep. His mind kept returning to Jisoo's warning. He had spent hours organizing everything he knew about her into a neat file on his tablet. You need to see this, Han told his roommate, Yoon-soo. Yoon-soo was a thin boy with round glasses and a serious face. He was the best computer student at the academy. See what? Yoon-soo looked up from his homework. Han showed him the file. Jisoo Kim isn't who she says she is. Yoon-soo read through Han's notes with growing interest. These patterns are strange. Her class attendance is perfect, but security cameras sometimes lose her for hours at a time. And look at this, Han pointed to a chart. Every time there's a security glitch at the academy, Jisoo is nearby. Why are you investigating her? Yoon-soo asked. Han hesitated. I think she killed those pirates on the station. Yoon-soo's eyes widened. That's impossible. She's just a human girl. That's what everyone thinks, Han said. That's why she's the perfect weapon. The next morning, Han looked for Yoon-soo at breakfast. His roommate wasn't there. Computer, locate student Yoon-soo, Han asked the academy system. Student Yoon-soo has transferred. His student file is no longer active, the computer replied. Han froze. Transferred, without saying goodbye, without taking any of his things. In combat class that afternoon, Han watched Jisoo carefully. The class was designed to teach students basic self-defense. For most humans, it was nearly impossible to compete with the stronger alien species. Today we will practice defensive moves, the instructor announced. Pair up and take positions. Jisoo was paired with a Draxen student. Draxens were known for their incredible speed and 4 powerful arms. No human had ever beaten one in combat class. The practice began. The Draxen moved quickly, its 4 arms a blur as it attacked. Jisoo dodged easily, her movements smooth and precise. Then something strange happened. The Draxen lunged forward, and Jisoo's hand shot out with impossible speed. She caught one of the Draxen's arms and started to twist it in a way that would have broken it. But at the last second, she hesitated. Her grip loosened. The Draxen recovered and pinned her to the mat. Point to Draxen student, the instructor called. Han stared in disbelief. Jisoo had deliberately lost. She had shown just enough skill to defend herself, then intentionally failed. But for a split second, he had seen what she was capable of. After class, Han followed Jisoo to the library. She sat alone at a table in the back corner, reading from her tablet. Yoon-soo is gone, Han said, sitting across from her. Jisoo didn't look up. Who? My roommate, the one I showed my research about you to. Now Jisoo looked at him. Her dark eyes revealed nothing. People transfer all the time. Without their clothes, without their computer, without saying goodbye. Han leaned forward. What happened to him? You should be more careful who you share information with, Jisoo said quietly. Did you hurt him? Han's voice shook slightly. No, Jisoo closed her tablet. But others might have. Others? The people you work for. Jisoo stood up. Stop asking questions, Han. Stop looking for answers. I warned you once. Han grabbed her wrist. I'm not afraid of you. Jae-soo looked down at his hand, then back at his face. For the first time, Han saw real emotion in her eyes. Concern. You should be, she whispered. But not for the reason you think. She pulled her wrist free with ease. Yoon-soo is safe. He was relocated for his protection after accessing restricted files. Files about me. So I was right, Han said. You're not just a student. Ji-soo stepped closer. Listen carefully. Something is coming to the academy. Something terrible. When it arrives, stay away from me. Find somewhere to hide. Don't try to help. Don't try to be brave. Why are you telling me this? Ji-soo's face softened for just a moment. Because you remind me of someone I used to know. Someone who didn't deserve what happened to them. Before Han could respond, Ji-soo turned and walked away. That night, the Academy's systems announced a special event. An important diplomatic delegation would arrive the next day. All students were required to attend. The entire Academy gathered in the main hall. Students from every planet stood in neat rows. Teachers and staff lined the walls. Security officers checked each entrance. Ji-soo stood in the back row. Her eyes constantly scanned the room. Her right hand stayed near her pocket, where Director King's silver disc was hidden. Han watched her from across the hall. Despite her warning, he had no intention of hiding. Attention, students, Principal Vex announced. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence. Today we welcome an important diplomatic delegation. The representatives of the unified planets wish to observe our Academy's excellent educational methods. The main doors opened. 5 tall figures entered the hall. They wore long silver robes that covered their bodies completely. Their faces were hidden behind smooth masks that reflected the light. Welcome, honored guests, Principal Vex bowed deeply. The tallest figure stepped forward. We are pleased to visit your esteemed academy. The voice was smooth and pleasant, but somehow wrong. Like many voices speaking together, I am the voice, representative of the unified planets. Ji-soo's body tensed. Her pupils dilated as she stared at the visitors. The voice turned slowly, as if surveying the students. When its mirrored mask faced Ji-soo's direction, it paused. What an interesting collection of species, the voice said, including humans. So rare to find them in such prestigious institutions. Ji-soo's tablet vibrated silently in her pocket. She slipped it out just enough to read the message. Asterisk e mim urgency alert. Void, code and firemed. EVAQ8, INMMEDIATELI asterisk. Ji-soo ignored the order. She wouldn't leave hundreds of students defenseless. We request a tour of your facilities, the voice said to Principal Vex, particularly your underground levels and security systems. Ji-soo slipped away from the crowd. No one noticed her leave, except Han. He followed her at a distance. Down empty corridors and through service tunnels, Ji-soo moved with silent speed. She reached a section of wall that looked like all others, pressed her palm against it in a specific pattern, and a hidden door slid open. Inside was a small room filled with weapons, not standard Academy security weapons, but advanced military technology. Some didn't even look human in design. Ji-soo began arming herself methodically. A slim black suit replaced her Academy uniform. Weapons disappeared into hidden pockets. What are you doing? Ji-soo spun around, a blade suddenly in her hand. Han stood in the doorway. I told you to hide, she said, lowering the blade. And I chose not to. Han stepped into the room. Those visitors, they're not diplomats, are they? No, Ji-soo continued preparing. They're Void Collective. They're here to kill everyone in the Academy. Why? To get to me. Ji-soo checked a small scanner on her wrist. They're moving towards the main power core. If they reach it, they can release a bioweapon into the air system. Han's face paled. How do you know this? Because it's what they always do. Ji-soo looked at him. I need to stop them. Alone. You can't face 5 of them by yourself. I was made to face them. Jisoo's voice was cold. It's why I exist. Suddenly, the academy alarms blared. Red emergency lights flashed in the corridors. Security breach detected. All students proceed to evacuation points. The computer system announced. Too late, Jisoo said. They've already begun. She pressed a button on her wrist. Throughout the academy, hidden panels opened in the walls, revealing emergency instructions and escape roadmaps. What did you do? Han asked. Activated emergency protocols I installed when I first arrived. Jisoo headed for the door. It will help evacuate the students. Let me help you, Han said. Jisoo stopped. You'll die. Maybe, but I'm not running away. Jisoo studied his face. Then she reached into her weapons cache and handed him a small device. Point and press. It disrupts their sensory abilities. Jisoo's eyes met his. Stay behind me. Do exactly as I say. If I tell you to run, you run. Han nodded. Together, they moved through the empty corridors. The academy had gone into full lockdown. In the distance, they could hear screams. We're too late, Han whispered. No, Jisoo said. Her eyes had a fierce light now. We're right on time. Jisoo and Han moved silently through the academy's emergency tunnels. The red alarm lights cast strange shadows on the walls. We need to reach the central hub, Jisoo said. From there I can track the void's movements. What exactly are they? Han asked, keeping pace with her. These void creatures. Jisoo didn't slow down. The most dangerous species humanity has ever encountered. They don't eat flesh or drink blood. They consume consciousness. Consciousness. Like minds. Yes, they feed on the awareness of other beings. When they're done, nothing remains but an empty shell. Jisoo's voice was flat, but Han could sense the hate beneath her words. They nearly destroyed humanity before a special task force drove them back. The program you're part of? Jisoo nodded. Program Silence. Humans specially modified to resist void influence and trained as perfect assassins. They reached a security door. Jisoo placed her palm on the scanner, and it opened immediately. How do you have access to everything? Han asked. I've been preparing for this since I arrived. Jisoo entered the central security hub. Screens showed different parts of the academy. Many areas were empty. In others, students huddled in safe rooms. Jisoo activated the main console. The void fear humans uniquely. Our minds resist their feeding techniques in ways no other species can. Is that why they're after you specifically? Partly. Jisoo's fingers flew over the controls, but mostly because I can see them. Their true form. Most people only see what the void want them to see. The screen showed the 5 diplomats moving toward the power core. Their silver robes flowed too smoothly, as if they weren't walking but gliding. My parents were part of the original program Silence. Jisoo continued. They were genetically modified to resist void influence. I was born with those modifications, but they went further with me. They changed my brain structure to make me undetectable to void senses and gave me the ability to see their true nature. The colony attack, New Soul, that was the void. Han asked. Jisoo's hands paused briefly. Yes, they found the hidden research facility where I was raised. My parents died getting me out. Her voice remained steady, but her eyes showed pain. I was 7 years old. I'm sorry, Han said quietly. After that, Director Kang took over my training. I became what you see now. A perfect weapon. Yes. Han looked at the screens. So what's the plan? I'm going to kill them all, Jisoo said simply. There are 5 of them. Even you can't. I can. Jisoo pulled up a schematic of the academy. But I need to separate them first. Together, they're too strong. She pointed to different sections of the map. Here, here, and here. These are narrower corridors. If I can lure them to these points, I can take them one by one. What do you need me to do? Han asked. Jisoo looked at him. Access the environmental controls. When I give the signal, shut down the lights in Sector 4. Then release emergency foam in Sector 6. Creating distractions. Creating chaos. The Void hate chaos. It disrupts their connection to each other. Han moved to another console and began working. Why are you telling me all this? About what you are. About the Void. Jisoo was quiet for a moment. Because if I die, someone needs to know the truth. You're not going to die, Han said firmly. I might. Jisoo checked her weapons one last time. I'm good, but I'm still human. Suddenly, all the screens went black. The emergency lights flickered and died. They found the main power grid, Jisoo said, her body tensing. Faster than I expected. The backup generators hummed to life, casting dim blue light through the room. It's starting, Jisoo said. She turned to Han, and for a brief moment, her mask of control slipped. He saw fear, determination, and something else in her eyes. Han, she said softly, if I don't come back. You will, he interrupted. Jisoo shook her head. If I don't, there's a file on my tablet. The password is Nusol7. It explains everything. About the Void. About program silence. Get it to Earth Command. Han nodded. I will, but it won't come to that. Jisoo almost smiled. You're very confident for someone who just learned aliens that eat minds exist. Then her face became serious again. Stay here until I return. If anything other than me comes through that door, use this. She handed him a small silver cylinder. What is it? Last resort, Jisoo said. Push the button and run. It will destroy everything in a 30-foot radius. With that, she turned and moved toward the door. Jisoo, Han called after her. She paused. Be careful. This time, she did smile. A small, sad smile. I'm never careful, she said. I'm effective. Then she was gone. Jisoo moved through the dim blue emergency lighting like a shadow. Her footsteps made no sound. Her breathing was controlled and even. Years of training had prepared her for this moment. She touched the small device on her wrist. Han, can you hear me? Yes, his voice came through clearly. I got all the systems ready. Good. I'm approaching the first target. Get ready to cut the lights in Sector 4. Jisoo slipped into a narrow maintenance tunnel. According to the security feeds, one of the Void creatures had separated from the others. It was searching the science labs, probably looking for biological samples. She reached the end of the tunnel and peered around the corner. The Void being floated down the corridor in its silver robes. Its mask turned slowly from side to side. Now, Han, Jisoo whispered. Instantly, the lights in the entire sector went out. Total darkness filled the corridor. The Void creature stopped moving. A soft hissing sound came from behind its mask. Jisoo could see it perfectly. Her eyes had been modified to see in complete darkness. More importantly, she could see through the creature's disguise. Behind the silver robes and mask was something that wasn't solid. It shifted and flowed like smoke, but darker than black. Tiny points of light flickered within it like dying stars. Jisoo moved. She launched herself at the creature, a special blade in her hand. The metal had been treated with a chemical that disrupted void matter. The creature sensed her at the last second. It spun around, its robes falling away as it abandoned its disguise. A tendril of darkness shot toward Jisoo's face. She dodged with impossible speed, slashing with her blade. The weapon cut through the darkness. The Void creature shrieked, a sound like metal tearing. Jisoo didn't hesitate. She pressed her advantage, striking again and again. Each cut made the creature smaller, its darkness leaking away like gas from a punctured container. With a final thrust, she drove the blade into the center of the shifting mass. The creature collapsed in on itself, imploding with a sound like a distant thunderclap. Nothing remained but a small pile of gray dust. First one down, Jisoo reported. 4 to go. Jisoo, Han's voice was urgent. They know something's wrong. They're converging on your position. Perfect. Jisoo headed for the main laboratory. Release the foam in Sector 6 now. Then get ready to activate the sprinkler system in the main lab when I give the signal. She ran silently through the corridors, setting traps as she went. Special devices that emitted frequencies painful to void senses. Tripwires that would release chemicals harmful to their form. Jisoo reached the main laboratory and positioned herself behind a large equipment cabinet. The doors slid open. 2 void creatures entered, their silver robes discarded now. They moved as swirling clouds of darkness, searching. They found you, Han warned. The other 2 are heading toward the security hub. They know someone's helping you. Jisoo's heart beat faster. Get out of there. Now. Not yet. I need to finish the system override. Han. I'm staying, just like you. Jisoo gripped her blade tighter. Fine. Activate the sprinklers. Water sprayed down from the ceiling. The void creatures hissed in pain. The water contained trace elements that weakened their form. Jisoo attacked. What followed was unlike any combat ever seen at the Academy. Jisoo moved faster than human eyes could follow, striking with perfect precision. The void creatures fought back with tendrils of darkness that could pierce metal. One tendril caught Jisoo's arm, burning through her suit. She didn't flinch. She spun and slashed, severing the tendril. The creature shrieked. Students who had hidden in nearby classrooms watched through the windows in amazement. The quiet human girl from class was fighting creatures from nightmares, and winning. Jisoo took down the second creature with a throwing knife that embedded itself in the center of its mass. The third proved harder. It wrapped darkness around her leg, trying to consume her consciousness. Jisoo smiled coldly. Try it, she whispered. See what happens. The creature probed her mind and recoiled as if burned. Jisoo's consciousness was protected by barriers it couldn't penetrate. She used its moment of confusion to strike, dragging her blade deep into its core. 3 down, Jisoo reported, breathing heavily now. Blood ran down her arm where the tendril had burned her. On my way to you. Hurry, Han said. They're almost through the door. I've activated all the defenses, but they're strong. Jisoo ran faster than she ever had before. Not for the mission. Not for humanity. For Han. Jisoo reached the security hub just as the door began to melt. The last 2 void creatures were forcing their way in, their darkness eating through the metal like acid. Han, she called. Get away from the door. Inside, Han had built a barricade of desks and equipment. He held the silver cylinder Jisoo had given him, his finger hovering over the button. The door collapsed. Darkness poured into the room like liquid night. Jisoo didn't hesitate. She jumped through the remains of the doorway, landing between Han and the void creatures. Blood dripped from her arm, but she showed no sign of pain. You're too late, she told the creatures. I've already killed 3 of you. The Academy students are evacuated. You failed. The darkness swirled and took shape. The tallest creature reformed into a silver-robed figure. The voice failed. The voice spoke with its strange, multi-tone sound. We came for you, human. Only you. Why me? Jisoo asked, buying time as she sized up her opponents. These 2 were stronger than the others. Because you are the last. The voice's mask tilted. The last of the changed ones. The ones who can see us. Kill us. There will be more, Jisoo said. Humans know about you now. No, the voice said with cold certainty. When you die, the knowledge dies. We have destroyed all records of program silence, all its creators. You are the last. Behind Jisoo, Han quietly accessed the security console. Jisoo kept the voice talking. Then why not just destroy the whole academy? Why this infiltration? We needed to be certain, the voice said. And we needed to see what made you different from the others. Why you alone survived New Seoul. Jisu's hand tightened on her blade. I survived because my parents died to save me. Your parents? The voice said the word strangely. Yes. They made you unique, the only human consciousness we cannot consume. The second void creature began to circle around, trying to flank Jisu and reach Han. Now, Han whispered. Jisu dropped to the floor. Above her, the ceiling panels opened. A flood of blinding white light filled the room. The void creatures shrieked in pain. The special light, designed to mimic the radiation of a particular star, weakened their form. Jisu attacked. She drove her blade into the smaller creature first, destroying it before it could recover. Then she turned to the voice. The voice abandoned its disguise completely. Its true form filled half the room, a churning mass of darkness with a cold intelligence at its core. Even if you destroy this form, it said, more will come. We have tasted human consciousness. It is different, vital. We will never stop hunting your kind. Then we'll never stop fighting, Jisu said. She leaped forward, blade ready. The battle that followed was unlike anything Han had ever seen. Jisu moved with impossible speed and grace. The voice struck with tendrils of pure darkness that could tear through steel. Jisu was hit several times. Blood stained her black suit, but she didn't slow down. Each strike of her blade cut away pieces of the voice's form. Han, she called, the emergency protocol. Now. Han pressed a sequence of buttons on the console. Throughout the academy, hidden devices activated, creating a field that prevented the void from escaping in its energy form. Trapped and weakened, the voice fought desperately. A tendril wrapped around Jisu's throat, lifting her off the ground. You will die with me, it hissed. Jisu smiled through bloody lips. Worth it. She drove her blade into the center of the voice's mass. The creature convulsed. Its darkness began to collapse inward. The tendril around Jisu's throat tightened. Han didn't think. He ran forward and slashed at the tendril with a piece of broken metal. It cut through, dropping Jisu to the floor. The voice imploded with a thunderous crack. A shock wave knocked both humans to the ground. Then silence. Han crawled to Jisu. Her eyes were closed, her breathing shallow. Jisu, he whispered, taking her hand. Wake up. You did it. You won. Her eyes fluttered open. We won, she corrected weakly. 3 days later, the Galactic Council ship arrived. The Academy was secure. The students were safe. The truth about the Void Collective was finally known to all species. Jisu stood before the council representatives, her arm in a healing cast. Han stood beside her. What you have done, the council head said, has saved countless lives across the galaxy. The Void have been a secret threat for centuries. Now, thanks to you, we can prepare. Jisu nodded. Humans will help. We're uniquely resistant to their influence. Indeed. The council head looked thoughtful. Perhaps we have underestimated your species. Later, as they walked through the repaired academy hallways, Han asked, What will you do now? Go back to being the quiet girl in class. Jisu smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes. I don't think that's possible anymore. Students watched them pass with awe and respect. The story of what Jisu had done had spread throughout the academy. Director Kang offered me a choice, Jisu said. Return to Earth as a hero, or stay here as the academy's new security chief. And? Han asked. Jisu looked at him. I'm staying. There's still a lot I can teach everyone about the Void. And, she hesitated, there are reasons to stay I never had before. Han smiled and took her hand. The quiet girl in class had become a legend, and humanity's place in the galaxy would never be the same again.